Welcome to Unlicensed Opinion, where I, Jack, a girl with zero credentials, gives advice. You bring the chaos, I bring the opinions, and together we pretend it's healthy coping. Okay, guys, so today I have my very special friend Tiffany with me.
Hello.
I've known her forever. We met in soccer 8 years ago or something like that.
Something like that.
Give the viewers a little backstory on who you are, where you're from, whatnot.
Okay. My name is Tiffany. I'm 25 years old and I've lived in Michigan my whole life. And currently I'm in grad school getting my doctorate in occupational therapy. And
Women in STEM.
yes. And like Jacqueline mentioned, we've met through playing soccer together and occasionally we still get after it.
Alrighty, so today I chose some stories for you that I thought, not that they're things that you've lived through before, but stuff that I thought you would have a good opinion on. You have siblings that you're pretty close with. You have a brother and a sister. We were just recently in a wedding together, so I kind of chose something along that lines. Pretty much, there's no theme. It's just things that I think that you would be able to relate to, or more so, put yourself in that person's shoes.
Okay.
Okay, so the stories that we're going to be reading today, there's going to be 3 stories, and then I have a special 4th story for you. The first story is going to be called Getting Revoked as a Bridesmaid. Like I said, we were just recently bridesmaids together in one of our other best friends' wedding. The second story is a drama in the middle of a girls' trip.
Oh, yeah.
The third story is going to be my best friend has feelings for my brother.
Oh, that'll be a juicy
Yes.
one.
So, once again, the first story is called Getting Revoked as a Bridesmaid.
Okay.
About 3 years ago, my brother and his girlfriend got engaged. I was truly thrilled for the both of them. They've been planning their dream wedding at a slow, steady pace, and I was touched when she asked me to be one of her bridesmaids. The whole thing is very elaborate. Every event leading up to it is just over the top. During the time they've spent planning, life has gotten busy for me too. I had a baby, got married to my now husband, and we're putting together a small celebration for a few months before my brother's wedding. We also planned a short local honeymoon right afterward. Anyway, last week my future sister-in-law, let's call her Emma, sent out the full schedule for all the wedding events. As soon as I read through it, I knew the bachelorette trip was going to be a problem. It's out of state, falls right around my child's birthday, and the costs would add up to be around $1,000 between flights and the Airbnb, before food, drinks, and everything else.
Wow. Okay.
What are our thoughts on expensive bachelorette parties? I feel like they've gotten a little out of hand.
I think they have, and a lot of people I feel like to travel for theirs now when there's a lot of more local or weekend trips that could be an alternative. But I also think it's hard when you're the bride and it's a one in a lifetime kind of thing for you.
Right. Do you think sometimes it would be better to just plan a normal girls trip rather than a trip where you expect people to come?
Yeah.
So I feel like that can be an alternative.
It could.
Like an alternate. Okay, sorry. I pulled Emma aside privately and explained why I couldn't join the bachelorette weekend. The return flight would have been me getting home the day of my son's birthday. I've never traveled that far away from him, and being a plane ride away makes me nervous in case something goes wrong. Money is tight because my husband and I are paying for our own celebration and honeymoon without any financial help. Good for you guys.
I wish.
We're hoping to start trying for another baby around that time, so I may not even be able to drink or fully participate.
Yeah, so why even want to spend all that money if you can't have fun and do the full experience
do the things
too?
that everyone else is going to be doing.
And if she knows this in advance to where she's telling the bride that far in advance.
True. Use your baby as an excuse. Your future baby.
If you already sent the itinerary and you're like, oh, this is going to be a conflict and I'm already busy, you're telling her with enough time in advance.
I agree. All right. There was something I didn't tell her. She and the rest of the bridesmaids are a lot younger than I am. None of them have kids. Most still live with parents or roommates. And they're simply in a different stage of life. Things like childcare, finances, and distance aren't on their radar the way they are for me. When I first talked to Emma, she said she understood, and I walked away feeling like we were okay. But I think she talked to the other people afterwards because she came back to me upset. She told me she wants me to step down as a bridesmaid because she feels I can't give her the level of involvement she wants. I do get where she's coming from, but it still hurts, especially because I can attend every other event except for this one trip. I'm really struggling with how to respond and where to go from here. Do I accept stepping down? Do I try to smooth things over? How do I navigate things without damaging my relationship with her or my brother? Let's talk about it. To be honest, I think that the bride is kind of overreacting. I don't know. I'm not married, so I don't know if I would be
Never
mad.
been in that situation before.
But I just feel like everyone has their own personal problems, and if she's not going to understand that, then that's her problem. And if someone doesn't respect the things that you think are holding you back, then you shouldn't feel I just don't think it's the biggest loss to not stand in the wedding. Like, I know it's your brother's wedding, but I think that says a lot that someone's not willing to just let you skip something. I think, like we were saying, I think bridal parties have taken it to the next level now. And if you want to do a girls trip like that, why not have a planned girls trip where everyone is on the same page and the people that want to go can go? I think she's only mad because it's the bridal party. If it was any other trip, would she be mad, you know?
That's true. I have a wedding coming up, and everyone else has been graduated from college and has been working in industry and all of that for at least 4 years now, where like I'm still in grad school, so I haven't had a steady income like that. So for me, it's like all of the money that I would spend on a trip that's coming up, I could pay off my loans and focus on school and just get done with all of that.
Kind of to that point too is like, if you're in a position where you have limited money, wouldn't you want to spend your money on something that you want to do? Like if she's pregnant and she wants to go on a trip where she can drink, like this is not the trip for her kind of thing. And I think if it were me, I think I would just kind of keep my mouth shut and be like, oh, okay, it's her day. It's the bride's day.
Yeah.
So if the bride is in a position where she's upset, the bride might regret it one day and you might be sad and upset on the wedding day, but ultimately it is the bride's day, which like sucks because I kind of think the bride's being insensitive. But I just think that ultimately it's the bride's day, and I honestly think you're dodging a bullet.
Yeah.
In a way.
And it's hard too because the wedding I'm in, I'm the maid of honor, so I feel like I have to go, even though that is a lot of money, and I am still in school, and again, they've all been working a lot longer, but I feel like it's my duty as the maid of honor to be there.
Yeah, that is hard.
So I did like talk to her about it, and we like agreed that I would still go, and she obviously made like accommodations, like I know you're still in school, so I can pay for you at first, and then like once you finish school, like slowly pay me back. So like at least she was willing to give like an alternative.
Right, yeah. If the bride's not providing any alternatives, one thing too that I think we kind of glossed over is it's her son's birthday.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what her plans are or what
and he
they're
seems
doing.
young.
He does seem young, so he might not remember. But
it could be like a first birthday.
Right. If it's like I also don't have a kid, but I can't imagine my parents like missing their birthday, and I think it's kind of rude of the bride that she won't, like, if anything, the finance issue and it's my kid's birthday when we come back are like the two main things that I think it's kind of insensitive to not understand. So if the bride is asking you to step down, honestly, I would just bite my tongue, not say anything. One day the bride might regret it. Who knows? There might be countless other arguments throughout this entire thing. But for now, I would be the bigger person. The bride might be acting off emotions, but it's the bride's day, and whatever the bride wants, the bride gets.
Right.
You know? So,
that's funny.
Yeah. End result, are we at an end result that step down and just keep your mouth shut?
Yeah, because I feel like I wouldn't even want to go on the trip either if
I
she's can't
acting like this.
Drink, I can't have fun, I can't do the full experience, and then I'm going to have that constant worry of like, my kid's at home, like I've never been away from him, does he need me? And if he is younger, like is he still kind of relying on her for certain needs and stuff? So I don't think it's worth the extra stress.
Yeah, and I think one day because that bridal party is younger, I think one day they would understand it. Might not be right now, but I think eventually.
Yeah, and they can still get pictures on the wedding day with each other, so
just wear a dress that outshines all the bridesmaids. Just kidding, don't do that. All right, cool. Yep, we're closed out.
Closed out.
Okay. Alrighty. Okay, so the next story that we have is called Drama in the Middle of a Girls Trip.
Oh yeah,
we also just went on one of these recently together, so
we did.
It's part of the reason I chose it.
Been on a lot of girls trips in my lifetime. Can't say they've all looked pretty.
Right? No, same. All right. Hi, everyone. I'm posting because I had a really rough experience today on a trip. I'm 19 and I'm on a 2 week post college graduation trip abroad with 3 friends from my high school friend group. So far, I felt consistently left out, mocked, and generally ignored. I know it's not their responsibility to make me feel included, but their behavior has been affecting me for the past couple of days. We've only been here for 2 days, and I've already had to excuse myself just to cry alone because of how isolated I
Oh,
feel.
girl, run. These are not your
No.
friends.
There are 4 of us, so you'd expect us to walk in pairs. But the 3 of them link arms when I end up trailing behind, navigating directions on Google Maps since no one else volunteered. On multiple occasions, including at the airport, I've been left behind while they rush ahead, leaving me scrambling to catch up.
Oh my god, why does this girl think they're friends?
I was gonna say, I think they secretly don't like you. I'm sorry, I know that's really harsh, but okay.
But then, like, why would they even invite her at this point?
True.
Like,
Oh,
this
gosh.
poor girl.
I know.
She needs
This
to
is not a
run.
good
She needs to
start.
run
Not a
and
good
run
start.
fast.
It's not that I'm not close to any of them. I used to be especially close to one of the girls, who I'll call Mia, to the point where people always assumed we were inseparable. Lately, we've drifted apart, though I'm not sure why, and that makes being left out of their little trio even harder. The other 2 I'm less close to, though I've started connecting with one of them more recently. Mia tends to be the center of attention to the other 2 girls, which makes it difficult for me to feel included. Her body language towards me is often closed off. She angles herself towards them, cutting me out of conversations. They genuinely don't seem to notice how much they exclude me. That pisses me off. Everyone should feel included on a trip or in a public setting.
Well, and I feel like when we hang out, if there's like new people there, we always make sure we like go up to them and
Yeah,
say
we go
hi
the
and
extra
make them
mile.
feel included. Where I know some
Right.
people like
They don't care.
lately, I feel like it's more like, oh, I don't know them, so I'm not talking to them.
Yeah, which is so dumb.
Like, that's so weird. Even at the bar, I like stand next to a stranger and I'm like, what's up? How's
Right?
it going?
Last night was the breaking point. Around 11 p.m., I was FaceTiming a friend back home in the bedroom we all share. My friend hung up and I started crying quietly. Mia came into the room, presumably to grab something, and in an annoyed tone asked, "Is your camera on?" I tried to respond softly that it wasn't, but she couldn't hear me, so I repeated myself until she finally snapped. I said no. Her reply, dripping with passive aggression, was, "Then don't speak in such a small voice." Seeing her act so coldly towards me while being warm and friendly with the other girls shattered me. Feeling overwhelmed, I called a friend from home to vent, but with everyone in the apartment, I had no privacy. Tear streaked and shaky, I ended up going outside to get some space. Despite me leaving upset, none of the 3 asked if I was okay. I continued venting over the phone, which helped a bit, but I'm still stuck. I know this treatment is not okay, especially on a trip I spent thousands of dollars on. I'm considering leaving the accommodation and staying with my friend in the same city for the rest of the trip, but I don't know how to explain my feelings to Mia and the other girls without making things awkward. I also don't want to be a waste of money on the things that we've already booked. How should I handle this? Should I try to stick it out with them, or is it reasonable to remove myself from the situation and spend the rest of the trip elsewhere? Any advice would really help.
I would go elsewhere.
Oh, that's so hard though, because like if you leave, like that's like the end of a friendship probably. But like
that does not seem like a friendship
to be
that
honest,
I would
yeah,
want to be in.
that's very true. I think those girls are mean girls.
Yeah.
Based on that, like I don't know. It just,
And I feel like they're the type where if you express your feelings, it's just going to end up being them 3 are going to talk about it and be like, we don't do that. We've never excluded her. We always do this for her. Like, kind of make it seem like brainwash each other to think that they do include her.
I also just realized I said post-college graduation. It was a post-high school graduation. I misread that. So I will say I think that also changes things for me because you're in a stage of life where you're going to be meeting a lot of new people.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you're going to the same college or a different college, like I am so glad that I made the friends that I did in college that
Same.
I was so scared I was not going to make new friends. I transferred in to a different college after a first semester and then COVID hit and I lived the rest of freshman year and all of sophomore year at home. So I was going into junior year thinking like I'm not going to make any friends. So during that time I was friends with all my high school friends. I didn't branch out and then junior year of college hit and I lived with 2 random girls and I lived with them my senior year and like they were literally my best friends. So
Yeah.
I think you're also in a stage of life where you're going to realize that people are or are not your friends and the
Yeah.
people that you do or do not want in your life. So
Yeah.
I think that you should
Run.
leave. I know that you've spent money on stuff. I would call and see if you can get refunded on certain things. Money's replaceable. It sucks, but
And she already has another friend down there. So use
Yes.
that money to go actually have fun
Yes.
and be happy.
yeah, you might as well. It's not like you're going to be spending double the money now on a new accommodation because
Right.
you have someone that you can
And
stay
if
with.
there's already stuff booked with the other girls that would screw them over on money, who cares? Because they've already ruined your trip enough.
Also, I think too, you might be worried that like yes, you're wasting money, but like you're not going to be able to do these things that you thought you would have like a really fun time doing. But you wouldn't have fun doing them anyway if you were with a bunch of mean girls. If
Right.
anything, you would have more fun with a friend that you're going to go visit and spend time with and not argue with and not cry with, and someone that if you want to talk about your feelings and emotions will probably sit
Yeah.
down and do that with you.
Like, this girl would probably have more fun by herself.
Literally.
To be
Run.
honest.
So in story, I honestly, what would you say to them?
If I, like, had to talk to the other girls about how
Yeah,
I feel,
like, I mean, you can't just leave, right?
kind of think I would.
You would just leave. Honestly,
Just because I
think,
know if I don't, I just feel like I know this type of group circle
would
vibe,
manipulate
and
you to
it's
stay.
literally just that they don't think or know what they're doing, to where they're just gonna talk about you behind your back and be like, we don't do that. What is she talking about? We've never left her out. We don't do this.
Yeah, that's true. If you, I mean, I don't see. I don't know. What if they like think she died? If it were me, I would say, hey guys, sorry, something came up. I'm really not comfortable staying here. I have another friend in the city that kind of knows the background of things, so unfortunately, I'm just gonna stay with her the rest of the trip, and I'll see you guys on the flight back home. That's what I would say. I would make an excuse. Please don't ask questions. I'm not in a stage to answer. I'm in a very vulnerable state right now.
Yeah.
And then when you get home, ghost them.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll make new friends. Honestly, I wouldn't even say ghost them like in a rude way. If they ask you, you could just be like, you will real. I mean, we're only what 24. You're 25 now.
25.
Yeah. Like you realize that there's no harm in speaking your mind. Like at that time, I don't know if I would speak my mind, but like there's no harm in if they text you when you get home saying like, hey, honestly, like I was having a really hard time because I was made to feel like the outcast on this trip, and it was really hard for me to process, and I felt like I just need to leave. And then you can leave it at that. And
I feel like I wouldn't even talk to the other two girls because she was
Yeah.
closer with the one. So if
wouldn't bother
anything,
with the other two.
I would text in a group chat and be like, I'm going to stay with my friend, blah, blah,
Also,
like give a reason. But-
I wonder if when you got home, if that friend would even text you.
Yeah, probably not.
And if she doesn't, then problem solved.
Yeah.
So if it were me, I would send a small little text of saying like, hey, I'm going through something that came up. Like, all my stuff is still paid for. I'm not going to request any refunds, like, you know, for the group accommodation or anything. Sorry.
And I feel like when I got home, I would maybe text the girl she was close to. And that's where, if she felt like explaining her feelings, maybe one-on-one with that girl, but just know she's going to go and tell the other
True.
two. And
If it were me, I would wait to see if the girl texts me. But
yeah.
anyway.
Because I feel like even if she texts her, like, we used to be so close and now we're not.
And whose fault is that?
I feel like she's going to just
Not
deflect.
the mean girl, it's Mia's fault.
Yeah,
Yeah. So run
yeah.
and good luck.
And go to college and
Yes.
make better friends.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so our third story is called My Best Friend Has Feelings for My Brother. Who knows? Maybe at one point in your life this might happen to you. If it hasn't already.
Well, you see, my brother's 26, I'm 25, and my sister's 24, so
Yes,
all of
you
our
will.
friends are very close in age.
Yes. Alrighty. Okay, so I'm writing because I'm stuck in a really confusing situation that's starting to affect both my friendship and my family dynamic. My best friend, let's call her Lena, has been part of my life for years. She's like family. We've always been open about everything, from bad dates to deep secrets. Recently, though, I started noticing how she acts around my older brother, Ethan. It's small things, the way she lightens up when he walks into the room, or how she asks about him a little too casually.
Nope.
At first, I brushed it off, but then she admitted to me she likes him a lot. She said she's tried to ignore it, but she can't help it, that he's funny, mature, and that they just click. Here's where it gets complicated. I'm torn. On one hand, I want to be supportive. My brother's a good guy, and if they make each other happy, that's great. But on the other hand, it feels weird. It's like two parts of my world that I never thought would overlap suddenly are, and I don't know where that leaves me. I'm also worried about what happens if things don't work out. If they date and break up, do I lose my best friend? Does the family get awkward forever? I haven't told my brother how she feels yet, and she asked me not to, but keeping that secret is eating at me. So the question is, how do I handle this without ruining either relationship? Do I stay out of it, tell my brother, or set some kind of boundary?
I feel like my best friend is the person that any family party, any family trip, like that's who normally comes with me. So I feel like if they started dating,
Yeah, there's a
it
lot
just
that
would
could get
like
messed up.
ruin it. Yeah, and if they break up, it's like, well, I would still want my best friend to come on these
Right.
trips with me, and now she can't.
I'm curious on how the brother feels. Like the brother doesn't know, but like does the brother, cuz if the brother has no feelings, then like there's
Problem
not
solved.
an issue.
Yeah,
But I wonder, okay, because
they have to be talking though for her to.
here's the thing though, is like I feel like I've low-key kind of dealt with something similar to this before.
Uh,
So, in the moment, I reacted pretty poorly, and then after the fact I thought about it and I was like I wish I would have been more supportive in the sense of like can't help how you feel and like everyone deserves to be happy. And so I feel like as like a sister you should want both your best friend and your brother to be happy.
Mhm.
So I mean if I were in the position, if anything, I would go to the brother first and be like somehow casually see what his opinions of her are.
Yeah.
And then if he's like, yeah, like I've been really scared to tell you, but like I kind of secretly like her, or like if they've secretly been talking or something, and then like, okay, then that's a whole. If he feels the same way, then I'm like, I feel like,
But then it's hard too, because then if they're ever fighting, it's like you're in the middle of it, or
Right.
your best friend. Like, what if she doesn't want to come to you anymore to talk about her boyfriend because that's her brother? So now she goes
Right.
to someone else, and I feel like then she would get closer with someone else, and then in a way, it kind of makes you guys drift as friends.
I feel like there's no winning in this.
Yeah.
I just feel like it can get really, really complicated. But I also think that if it were to work, I'm also curious of their ages.
I was
But
wondering that too.
If it's like high school, no. We are not even gonna. That
Yeah.
ship is there's
Yeah.
no ship.
Mhm. Like, I think after college, yes, because it gets
Yeah.
a lot harder to date after college, especially nowadays when people only meet on dating apps
Yeah.
and stuff. Like,
Yeah, you don't know who's who.
right.
Yeah, if I think it definitely depends on the age. If they're older, like post grad or at the very end of their college careers, then I would get a feel for where the brother stands.
And then they're more mature to where it's like, if you try it and it doesn't work out,
right.
I can still come on your family trips and we're like laugh about it.
Right, I agree.
Like, it's not as deep. Where I feel like high school, it's always like drama
And
and oh my
you're
god.
immature in high school.
Yeah.
So like, there's no winning in high school.
Yeah, but I feel like once you're 26 and it's like, okay,
Right.
we can handle this more maturely. There's the dating pool becomes a little smaller.
Right.
Because
yeah.
I feel like we're in a weird stage right now where it's like half my friends are in long-term relationships, half of them are married, half of them are married and on their first kid, and then it's like, well, I was in grad school, so I'm single
Right.
and haven't found anyone.
Right.
So it's like a lot harder, I feel like, for me to date because everyone to me feels like they're like already taken and like
Right.
gone. And I'm like, where am I gonna meet people?
So like, how about this? Would you want your brother to support you if you liked one of his friends?
In the past he has not.
But if it was like, okay, let's say it's post grad, right? And you're hanging out with your brother and all his friends, and like
Mhm.
all of a sudden you just have this like, oh gosh, wait, we actually get along really good, and like I haven't felt like this in a while.
Yeah, I feel like
and it was like, you're mature now, you're out of college, you're an adult now.
yeah, like I feel
would
like
you
if
want him to?
I feel like he would if yeah, like I was done with school and we're like older. Obviously I wouldn't date any of my family friends, but his other friends outside of that, he's not as close to compared to our family friends.
Right.
So I feel like he wouldn't care as much because he sees our family friends more
Right.
to where there wouldn't be like a weird overlap.
Yeah, I think ultimately, I think my decision is it's gonna depend on the age.
Mm-hmm.
If it's high school, it's not even worth it.
Yeah.
And I would try to explain yourself and just say that like, hey, this kind of makes me really uncomfortable. And then if it's like end of college or post grad, I think that's a completely different story. I think you should have a conversation with your friend first and say, like, does he know how you feel? And then if not, either the friend or you need to talk to the brother to kind of like feel it out.
Yeah.
And if he has no feelings for her, then problem solved.
Right.
And if he likes her back and it works out, like, your best friend, like, could be your sister, which is pretty sweet.
Yeah. But I feel like there need to be like boundaries. Like, okay,
yes,
you still have to hang out with me outside of him. Like,
Yes.
because I feel like little sleepovers and stuff, like,
Right.
well, now on trips and all these family stuff, like, we're not going to have our little sleepovers
Right.
because you're going to want to sleep with him.
Yes. I agree. I would definitely say you would need to set boundaries, very clear boundaries with the things that you're comfortable with. And if they love and respect you, then they'll be okay with those boundaries.
Yeah.
So figure out how the brother feels.
And figure out your age.
Yeah. Figure out how old you are and figure out how your brother feels. And then, yeah, it all depends on how the brother feels and I guess their ages.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Good luck.
I hope it doesn't explode and that you guys
If you guys get married, send us an invite.
Yeah, for real. Good luck. Okay, so for the final story, I'm giving you the choice.
Ooh, yeah.
So you get to choose. The first story is called, Is This Normal, or Am I Overthinking How My Sister's Boyfriend Acts?
Okay.
Or, Can I Send a Friend Breakup Text?
Ooh, yeah. Let's do that one.
Friend breakup text?
Yep.
Okay. Do you think it's okay to send a friend breakup text?
I think
We'll
yes.
talk about it.
I feel like yeah.
Okay, ready?
Yep.
Okay. I really need some advice about whether I should send the message below. I haven't spoken to her, answered her calls, or replied to her texts in a few days because she's been really frustrating me. When I think about sending this and finally putting some space between us, I feel the sense of relief. She's chaotic and exhausting, but I worry that sending it might make her spiral and create even more drama. On the other hand, maybe her reaction doesn't matter if I don't have to deal with her anymore. I'm really torn. Should I send it or should I hold back? Here's what I'm thinking of sending. Hi, I'm sorry for being distant and not reaching out sooner. But after the other day, when you said you'd make time to go for a walk or catch up and didn't follow through, and then didn't respond when I texted you asking what happened, and then afterward just called and texted as if nothing ever happened over Thanksgiving break, it left me feeling unsettled. I've taken some time to reflect, and I've realized that most of our interactions since you've been in LA haven't been great for me.
Oh, LA. Yeah.
Right.
Shocker.
Either your actions or some things you've said have bothered me in one way or another.
Okay.
I don't want to list everything here to keep things brief, though I can give specifics if necessary. She has receipts.
Oh, yeah. My favorite.
Things have changed for me since your last visit. My dog not being well has made me more sensitive and more attuned to honoring my own feelings. My gut is telling me that right now you're not the kind of friend I need in my life. I know it's hard to hear, but I think honestly it's important, and I wanted to be upfront about how I feel. My intentions are good, but I need to prioritize taking care of myself first. I hope you can understand.
I feel like that's a crappy text.
I also agree. I honestly think, clearly it sounds like this friend moved to LA, I think for school. She said she was back for Thanksgiving. Honestly, I would just not say anything, and then when she comes back from the next break, if she doesn't text you to see how you are or to hang, then like your problem's kind of solved. I don't think I would send the text.
Well, and it made it seem like the girl that sent the text, it was more like a pity party about her.
Yeah.
Like,
yes.
it didn't have anything to do with...
if your friend doesn't care to catch up, your friend's not... I don't know. It
like,
kind of sounds like your friend doesn't care to, like, hang out with you, friend. And so I just don't think she'd even care to, like, you shouldn't make an excuse. I don't feel like you need to make an excuse to, like, say no. Like, if I can't do something...
That is my pet
like,
peeve.
I'm bad at that. Like, if I'm saying, like, hey, I can't go to this because I have to, like, do this, or I don't know if I'll be home in time. Like, we're now I think at an age, too, where it's, like, you can say no, and, like, it's okay. Like, you don't need to explain yourself.
Yeah. Like, my pet peeve is when I say no, and then they're like, why, or just come, or blah, blah, or, well, you can do that later, and this, and this, and this. And I'm like, if someone texts me, like, something came up, I can't come, or XYZ, I always just reply with, okay.
Right.
Where I feel like no one has ever responded to me saying I can't do something with just, like, okay, see you later.
Right.
Like, why do I have to send a whole, like, elaborate book and like delete it and retype it and be like, how can I configure this lie, to the point where I have literally put in my calendar before, like, told Jacqueline,
oh my gosh,
like, I can't come because of this, so that I know on that day to not like post on my Snapchat story like doing something else.
You're psycho. Anyway.
Because I feel like I have to
fair.
like text people this whole elaborate thing when it's just like, sorry, I have other plans, and I feel like no one can just be like, okay, like let's plan for next week. It's
Right.
always like, well, you hang out with them all the time, you see them all the time, you never see. It's like,
Doesn't
sorry, I already
matter.
made this plan
Yeah.
a month ago. Like, I'm not gonna cancel on it. Yeah, I haven't seen you in a while, but then you should have made the plan
Right.
a little bit earlier.
I think it's not even worth wasting your energy on a text. I would delete the text, and I hope that we're getting the story out in time so that I wouldn't waste I would not waste my time on sending a text. If your friend is in LA and in a different state, and then she comes home for like Christmas break, or I don't even know, Easter or whatever it is, or spring break, and she doesn't text you to hang out, then like you just gotta let it fizzle.
Yeah. And it's weird. Like, it made it seem like they had a walk planned in mind, and then she just like didn't answer and or show up. So like that's a little weird.
Yeah.
But then it felt like the rest of the texts weren't even about their friendship.
Yeah, it wasn't even
was
about
like,
the friendship. It was just that you're
I'm
dealing
going
with
through
stuff.
a lot, like about her.
Yeah.
So I'm
I
like,
just don't think it's worth it.
Yeah.
So
It's just weird.
yeah. So I think that you shouldn't send a text.
Yeah, no.
And then just kind of see if she asks to do things.
Yeah. But I do think breakup friend texts are okay. But that didn't seem like
I think they are too.
That didn't seem like
just don't think this one was that great.
Yeah, no.
But it's okay because we're here to help. So, all right, those are all the stories that I have for you today.
Yay.
Thank you so much for coming on. I hope you had fun.
Oh, so much fun.
You're gonna
I'll be
come
back
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to have you back. I'm gonna
Yes.
have all my besties come back. Okay, guys, make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and comment below if you think it's okay to send a friend breakup text or not. Let us know if you agree or disagree with any of our other opinions. And remember, we are not licensed, but we are opinionated. Bye, guys.
See ya.